Let me bring in Adam Green tonight, co-founder of the Progressive Change Campaign Committee. Adam, good to have you with us. I want to start with the White House. What do you make of the fact that Barack Obama won't put it to the firewall and try to get the final 9 signatures for the public option on the Senate letter? What's your response?
Now, the White House has been consistently lacking on this. If we're going to pass the public option, this movement started with the grassroots, and we're going to need some bold members of Congress to step up. That's the bottom line. The White House, if they jumped on, that would be an incredible bonus, but we can do this without them, and we have to do it without them.
How are you going to do it without them? Now, I'm told that there's not actually 41 signatures. There's 41 commitments. I want you to clarify that. But if you're so close, I mean, who do you expect to sign on the final 9?
Well, let's be very clear. In some cases, a commitment is better than a signature. I mean, in many cases, people are on video or directly talk to a reporter and said, I support the public option, I want it. But let me tell you something tonight, Ed. We can break a little news here. You know, we have been being very conservative with our vote counting, but over the weekend, we're going to be updating our whipcongress.com site, and we can say with confidence that there are at least 51 votes for the public option in the Senate if the House goes first. I'm happy to go through the list with you.
Nancy Pelosi's not going to go first unless you convince her that there's 51, or she sees a piece of paper where there's 51, or if there was a deal that was cut long ago that everybody said, yeah, we'll talk about the public option, but it isn't going to happen. What do you think?
Well, let me. You're right. She needs to see a piece of paper. I have a piece of paper. Let me run it by you real quick. Basically, we've heard all day our own whip count 41 being quoted against us, but there are lots of commitments that are in the bag that indicate how people would vote if the House went first. Kay Hagan from North Carolina, not on our list yet. She told the Huffington Post this week she would support a public option. Her only reservation is, will the overall bill pass? Obviously, if the House goes first and she's voting on the final bill in the Senate, she would be there. Claire McCaskill told us this week on video 4 times she supports the public option. Tom Harkin was on your show. He said that the only thing holding him back from supporting the public option publicly was whether the votes were there in the House. Well, obviously, if the House goes first and passes it to the Senate, he would be there. Same with Jay Rockefeller. Jay Rockefeller said in his statement that everybody uses to say he's against the public option that he is adamantly for the public option. His only question is viability. Well, if the House passes it and it goes to the Senate and it's the final vote, he will be there. There's no doubt he will be there. Herb Kohl today emailed his constituents. It was forwarded to us by multiple people. And he said flat out, I support the public option, and he wants to look at the overall bill. But of course, if it's the final bill, he's going to be there. He supports the public option. Mark Begich told us on camera this week that the public option is not make or break for him, but he's happy to support it as long as overall health care reform passes. Well, again, if the House passes it and it comes down to his vote, he's not going to be against it. That brings us up to 47, Ed. We're going to post all of this at whipcongress.com. But wait, there's more. Max Baucus, he issued the original white paper supporting the public option. When he voted against it in the Finance Committee, he said, I'm only voting against it because I don't believe the votes exist. But if the House passes it and it comes down to his vote, there is no doubt that he will do what he's always been a team player and vote for it. Mark Warner and Jim Webb have both been publicly on the record. Jim Webb signed a letter with Sherrod Brown demanding the public option a couple months ago. Mark Warner said, quote, I want to make sure there are some competitive alternatives to the insurance companies. And then he supported the public option in the past. He would not be the final vote against it. And finally, Robert Byrd. That brings us up to 50, by the way. And number 51, Robert Byrd, one of Ted Kennedy's best friends in the Senate, has been a champion on this stuff all along. He indicated this last week for the first time that he's comfortable with the process of reconciliation, and there is no way, frankly, in hell that he would vote against his friend Ted Kennedy's final wish to pass comprehensive health care reform.
All right, so
that's
Adam,
one vote more than is needed. I just want to say this. The House can say with confidence that if they pass the public option, the votes will be there in the Senate. No doubt about it.
Okay, so that is the latest and the best reporting I have seen anywhere on a head count of the public option. We are really getting to it now. So you're challenging the House, telling the House, just have the leap of faith and go first, put the public option in, and we'll get it done. Adam Green, great to have you with us. We'll have you back again, obviously. Joining me now is Maryland Congressman Elijah Cummings.